James K. Fillon, a former federal prosecutor, said that the case between the SEC and Ripple could be settled in the first quarter of 2023. Fillon, who has defended many clients and cases against the SEC, said that Judge Analisa Torres had agreed to the SEC's request to extend the deadline for all parties to submit reply papers. According to an order dated November 4th, reply briefs must be submitted before November 30th, 2022. The deadline for amicus briefs is November 11th, 2022. Fillon's opinion suggests that the problem will take longer to solve, but he stands by his prediction that District Judge Torres will rule on the expert motions and the summary judgment motions at the same time on or before March 31st, 2023. There is a lot of information about how to get rid of expert testimony. However, there are still concerns about sealing the motions. In a new schedule update for the lawsuit, the reports from the experts and the transcripts of their depositions fill in the gaps. He thinks that the summary judgment process and the final decision will fix the problems with the sealing. A win for payment company Ripple in its lawsuit against the SEC is seen as a good sign for altcoins. Gottstein, a former candidate for the U.S. Congress, thinks that if Ripple wins, it could affect the rise of the whole crypto market. The decision on the Ripple versus SEC case is still pending, and Judge Torres will issue a ruling based on expert motion and summary judgment by March 31st, 2023. But the question is, what will happen to XRP in 2022? How will this delay affect the price of XRP? XRP in 2022 rose to 90.81 cents on March 28th, but failed to sustain that level, falling to 56 cents on May 8th. The price dropped to 38.52 cents on May 12th. As the crypto market plunged with the collapse of Terra USD and Luna crypto tokens. XRP remained volatile in July, rising and then falling 3 times. On July 30th, Ripple reached 40 cents. Since June 10th, this is the first time. But couldn't hold there and fell back to around 37 cents in the first week of August. It's still up from about 31 cents at the beginning of July. XRP's price rose strongly against Bitcoin because people are still hopeful about a possible deal between Ripple, a San Francisco-based blockchain payments company, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. In other words, Ripple and the SEC agreed that the court should use the evidence it already has to decide if the blockchain company raised money illegally by selling XRP in December 2022. This way, a lawsuit could be avoided. Since Ripple's lawsuit was filed, the price of XRP has gone up between 75% and 60% against Bitcoin. This is because people think Ripple will win. From the local high of 56 cents, the price went down 18% because there were not enough trades and not enough money coming in. If the bulls couldn't keep the asset's price above the moving average, the bulls failed. As mentioned above, we will most likely see a return to the downtrend the investment has been in for a year. The lack of updates from the Ripple versus SEC case and external market forces has resulted in a shift in opinion toward this case. Optimism for a quick conclusion propelled a rally and XRP to 55 cents before falling back down in hopes of court action in response to summary judgment. The number of motion files has gone down, but the court schedule hasn't changed since the beginning of the week. Investors were also upset that the SEC and Ripple didn't propose any new rules unless there was a last-minute deal. November 30th is the next day on the calendar, when the parties have to turn in all the papers they need to fight the summary judgment moves. The SEC has been getting more and more criticism for the way it handles cryptocurrency issues. The fill-in's forecast comes at the same time that several amicus curiae motions in support of Ripple have already been filed, and more are expected before the November 11th deadline. Each of the many amicus curiae petitions shows in its own way that if the SEC gets its way, it will do irreparable damage to every part of the U.S. crypto ecosystem. Ripple Labs, the company that made XRP, and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) have been in a legal dispute since 2020, according to Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. The SEC and Ripple Labs have both filed petitions asking for a ruling. Many business leaders are trying to participate in the proceedings in the crucial case between the US SEC and Ripple, which is becoming increasingly heated. People who are interested in the Ripple case think that the decisions on summary judgment may take longer than expected. But lawyers for XRP investors explained what was going on. Cryptocurrency experts predict that the price of XRP will rise to $1. Hogan says that the SEC won't be able to prove at least one part of the Howey test, which is what it needs to do. Here, Deaton and XRP investors have spoken up in court and are playing an important role as Hogan continues to argue that the SEC must do two things for the summary judgment motion to work. First, it has to prove each point with the best evidence and show that there is no real disagreement about a major fact. Ripple contradicts the SEC with their expert witness on the contradiction between XRP price trends and market forces, especially since 2018. Also, the company has 3,000 affidavits from its Deaton and XRP holders who didn't buy XRP because of Ripple. Hogan came to the conclusion that the SEC hadn't met its burden of proof for almost 2 years. The XRP community thinks that the SEC and Ripple's requests for summary judgment will be resolved by November 18, 2022. But they say that it might take longer given the way things are now. John Deaton, counsel in the Ripple case, highlights some critical court dates DT and said the response summary would be due on November 15, 2022. It will have the answer stamped on it. The public will be able to get censored copies by November 21st. As the regulatory battle between the SEC and Ripple gets closer, the XRP coin is starting to pick up speed, and investors seem to be getting ready for an uptrend. Because of the deal, the XRP USD pair is trading almost on the daily chart with full support near 44.13 cents and the uptrend line providing support. Additionally, XRP remains above 45 cents thanks to the 50-day moving average since the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs and two top executives in 2020. For alleged violations of securities laws, the regulator is seen more and more as a roadblock to making rules. Some have blamed the Gensler-led administration for conducting an extravagant pursuit by pursuing the case despite its lack of authority over digital assets. Stuart Alderin, the general counsel of Ripple, said that all of the SEC versus Ripple filings show how dangerously misleading the SEC is. In response, he said, "We need more time, not to listen or participate, but to level it blindly." In the meantime, Ripple supporters are still happy that the court ruled in their favor, despite the long legal battle. A win for the blockchain network would also cause the price of XRP to go up by a lot. Ripple had an unexpected rise in 2017 and 2018. It quickly passed Bitcoin to become the second most valuable cryptocurrency in the world by market capitalization. After this XR expansion, P's exchange rate and market capitalization went down for a long time and in a painful way. On average, this drop is bigger than the drop in the value of cryptocurrency. But the boom in the crypto market at the beginning of 2021 helped XRP get back on its feet. Traditional consensus methods, such as proof of work, POW, and proof of stake, POS, built trust in nodes based on their processing power or equilibrium value. In Ripple, trust is based on how well-known node validators, such as banks and other registered companies, are. American Express and the Axis Bank analysts and crypto fans at the Royal Bank of Canada don't think this is the end of the XRP bull run, especially since Ripple is about to win its case against the SEC. The Ripple blockchain's native cryptocurrency, XRP, might not be considered a currency in the US after 2022. If the SEC wins the court case, this could set a legal standard that could lead to other cryptos like it being labeled as securities. So, the case against Ripple is important for everyone in the cryptocurrency industry, including investors, early adopters of blockchain, and international lawmakers. Please tell us what you think in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date, click the subscribe button.